If you're having a hard time attracting the right kind of patients to your business, you have to ask yourself the question, is my marketing message broken? It might be. My name is Huang. I'm going to talk a little bit today about how my messaging is broken and how I'm fixing it. So it was right, and then I started messing it up. And now I have to fix it. And you're gonna have to go through that yourself if you are trying to grow your business. My name is Huang. I'm an occupational therapist and certified hand therapist. And over 10 years ago, I started my therapy clinic. And over 5 years ago, I started Hand Therapy Secrets to help therapists become CHTs, right? So you can have more choices and maybe open your own business, right? So when I started my business over 11 years ago, all I could talk about was the fact that I was a certified hand therapist and I was gonna fix your arm if you had something broken. I would sit there and talk about how I was a certified hand therapist and how I could do the splint better than anyone else and how I can do the wound care. That is essentially the wrong marketing message, right? Then you're going to attract the wrong kind of people who are coming to you, especially if you're a cash-based therapy clinic. Now, if you're insurance-based, you take all the crappy insurances and you're like, you just have your doctor send you here, then your patients don't need to be attracted to you for your marketing message. Then this video doesn't really matter to you, right? It will matter to you because eventually it's going to catch up to people who have not been working on it because they've been relying on insurance and they've been relying on doctors. And the thing is there's more options for people, and one of the options is really to not do anything, right? Options are to go the least amount, to watch YouTube videos. People are watching my YouTube videos on my clinic channel trying to get help. So that's saying something, right? So here's where I was going wrong at the beginning. Fix it. And then what happens is the human mind, the human brain forgets. It forgets. This is why it's so important when you're in business to have a mentor, to have a coach, and to continue to invest in yourself in that sense. Because when you get stuck and your shit's not working, you inherently have a self-bias that you're doing the right thing, that everything else must be wrong. But we as entrepreneurs, we have to have a humbleness to seeing where we're going wrong. So seeing like, I'm not doing something correct here, and just being able to be humble enough to constantly ask those questions. Where am I going wrong? Where am I not doing well? And being open to having those answers. So my marketing message back in the day for my clinic was all about hand therapy, that I'm a certified hand therapist, and if you cut your tendon, if you broke your finger, I make the best splints. And I see that everywhere that I look. My therapist she has a really hard time breaking out of it. Therapists that I train, that I work with, that, they all get stuck in the thing that we do. So the thing that we do is a therapy, right? The thing that we do is the hands-on shit, the massage, the scar management, the splint. That's the thing we do. People are not coming to us because, I'm an occupational therapist, or they think I can massage their scar better because everybody and their mother is saying that they can massage your scar, for cheaper. So in order for me and my clinic to stand out as a cash-based therapy clinic, I really have to talk more to their problem and to what I can help them achieve, like in the long run, right? So right now, my biggest thing that I have top of mind is working with people who have tendonitis issues. Now, you can have tendonitis anywhere in your body where you have a muscle and it's connected to the tendon, right? You have a tendon and you have an itis. So I bought a new technology for my clinic. I bought a new machine that's going to help me provide a different level of therapy. It's called regenerative shockwave. Everybody and their mother's asking me about it. How do I know that I'm doing my marketing wrong? It's because people are asking me about the thing, right? They're asking me about the thing. They're asking me about the shockwave. And what they should be asking me, right, if my marketing message is correct, they should be asking me, well, tell me, what kind of tendonitis do I have? Like, can you fix my tendonitis? Can tendonitis be fixed, right? So they would ask more about their problem that they have. You would have more conversations about their worries and concerns. So I was able to catch my marketing message breakdown because I went and got some coaching. And then I was looking also because I knew in the back of my mind, like something was wrong because I'm getting different types of questions, but I didn't know how to break it. Like I didn't know how to fix it. So because I kept going back into my own biases. And that's why sometimes when you want to fix something and you don't want to be stuck there forever, you get some coaching, you get some mentorship, right? That's the value of it. And again, if you want my help, all my links are below and we can work together. You can get on my email list and see what else I'm sharing inside there that's a little bit more detailed than what I'm sharing out here. But one of the things that I started doing because I got something new, and then I was like, I want people to buy it, because I full 100% bought it because it works. Like I tried it. I mean, I was looking at this machine for like over a year and I would try it out and I was like, do I want to spend the money? Because listen, corporation doesn't have my back. I have my back. So I bought it and then I was like, oh, I got to start like putting it out there. And I started putting it out and I kept talking about the thing. The thing is I live in a big town. I can't be like, I'm the only one. Everybody and their mother has some form or fashion of something that they're marketing. And I've even had a therapist come into my clinic, pretend to need my therapy services just so he can try to talk to me about the thing that I have. That told me that my marketing message is wrong. So everywhere you look, you are getting some form or fashion of feedback in terms of your marketing message, and you have to decide if you're going to listen to it or not, right? And sometimes because we are so biased, oh, well, I'm doing it better. Look at me. The lighting was really good. No beeping in the background like you just heard because, I have windows. Right? And I kept talking about the thing. And if we keep talking about the thing and we keep talking about us, then that's where our marketing message gets broken down. So how to fix it, one is to recognize it, right? How to fix it and break it. One, you just got to recognize it. When you recognize it, then you have to be humble enough to be able to get the help, right? And once you get the help, that help, right? This is the help. That help will remind you need to stop talking about yourself and the shit that you have. You have to talk about them. So the people who are coming to me, what are their problems? Well, I'm trying to help them avoid surgery, right? Because if they, like for example, trigger finger is a form of tendonitis. It's a tenosynovitis. It's a tendonitis. It's an itis of the tendon. It just called the trigger finger because who knows, right? But it's a form of tendonitis, and what happens is one, it can get worse. So when it gets worse, they need injections. When they need injections and the surgeon says you can only have 2, then you have to have surgery. Wait until it gets bad, then you have to have surgery. Guess what happens? They have surgery and then they're back in therapy, right? So how much downtime are you willing to live with? How much pain are you willing to live with? And then what happens to people is once you have one tendonitis, it can then turn into another itis somewhere else. So I'm passionate about trying to fix that one thing to then fix all the other things that are coming down the pipeline. If you have tendonitis in one finger and you just, have surgery and injections, you're going to end up going down this path of like, it's going to happen again, right? You know what happens in tendonitis is in the shoulder? Tendonitis in the shoulder turn into breakage of your rotator cuff. Break your rotator cuff fully, right? Break your rotator a certain amount, you're going to need surgery. Break it fully, you're going to need surgery. Guess what happens to people who don't get surgery or ignore their tendonitis pains, right, for a long time? Well, the quality of the tendon isn't really great. And so what happens is you can have all the surgery you want, but if the quality of that tendon is poor, then you're going to end up needing a total shoulder replacement, right? This is the cascading problem. I need to talk to that. You see how I did that? I need to talk to that more than I need to talk to like my machine can help your tendonitis, right? One, I had to have the awareness that something was not correct. How I saw it was in the comments, the questions, how people were showing up in my clinic. Number one, you have to be open to recognizing and seeing when something doesn't work. Number two, you just have to be open to getting that kind of help. Can I talk to my husband? Of course I can talk to my husband. He's not going to know how to help me. Can I talk to my friends? Sure. Half of my friends don't even want to talk to me about my business, right? So I had to get outside unbiased help, number two. And then number three, when all that help, what that help did was it led me to seeing how I can fix it. And one of the ways you can fix it is that you have to be reminded that you want to talk about the other person more than you want to talk about yourself. And that can be hard because our brain is wired to be thinking about us, protecting us, me and me and me. And you have to be more you. So what do you need, right? If you need anything, my link's below, and get on my email list, all right? If this helps you, you see how I just said that? If it helps me. If this helps you, leave me a comment. What are you going to do to change your messaging? I'm already working on it. New videos are coming out for my clinic side. I've got to change. I got to shift it. And you can always shift it. All right? Let me know how you're going to shift it. All right. Thanks.